All right, here we go. Welcome back. In this review, we're going to review adding fractions. So adding regular fractions, mixed numbers, fractions with uncommon denominators, etc. Okay, so we are going to go take a look at our worksheet. Remember, you can always download. Okay, welcome back. In this episode, we are going to review adding like fractions. So we're going to review adding the fraction with the same denominator, adding fraction with mixed numbers, adding fractions with unlike denominators, etc. This is also on your test, and please remember the video order that I'm doing is the exact order that you see on your test. So if you want to know every concept in which order that is going to be on the midterm or as part of your midterm, start with the first video that is in this section of midterm review. All right, so before I get to adding fractions that have unlike denominators, I'm going to review with just one problem what it's like to add fractions without mixed numbers and common denominators. So in order to do that, I'm going to alter this worksheet a little bit, okay? So you won't have the alterations of the worksheet. You have this original worksheet, but the part I want to review real quick first is so easy that I think that I don't need a full worksheet of those type of problems, and I think you too will remember what to do. So I'm going to first alter number 1 to make it into a regular fraction problem, like adding two fractions with the same denominator. So in order to make them the same denominator, I'm going to change this, okay, into a 2. So now I have the simplest version of adding fractions, the first step of adding fractions. If the denominators are all the same, okay, all I do is add the top number. So this is 8, keeping the bottom denominator the same, okay? However, you know you cannot leave a fraction top heavy, also known as improper. So what do we do with that? You divide. I'm asking you to do this. 2 will go into 8 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. I have no remainder, so my total answer is 4. See that? So that is the only review problem I'll do with adding same denominators or like denominators fractions. And now what I will do is do the same thing as a mixed number. So adding fractions with the same denominator, but as a mixed number, which means I will place that number back in front, and I will put a 3 in front of here. We do the same steps as we done before. You can add the numerators. Remember that gave us 8. Keep the denominator the same, and just add the two whole numbers. 2 plus 3 is 5. However, you still would need to change this into a mixed number because you cannot leave any fraction top heavy. And remember, when we did this, we came up with the answer of 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So what happens is that you have to combine the whole numbers. Remember, this is adding on to your whole number that's already there. So 5 plus 4 is 9. Okay? And because there is no remainder, okay, you do not have a fraction. Or I've seen some students do this. They'll take a 0 remainder and just keep the same bottom number. If you do this, I will still count it correct, but the most correct form would just be using the whole number of 9. So that's it for a fraction review of the simplest form, because what most students need help with is what to do with fractions that don't have the same denominator, okay? So let's go back and review. And this is the sheet that is on the Heart Academy, and I'll be working with it regularly now. So the first thing I like to do, as you know, is I will rewrite it, going up and down vertically first. Again, please excuse the handwriting. And this is the part lots of people forget, is when they do not have the same bottom number, we have to make them have the same bottom number. What number will go into 2 and 16 evenly without anything left over? So what number goes into 2 and what number goes to 16 evenly? The same number. without anything left over. In this case, our answer happens to be 16. Because 2 will go into 16 evenly, 16 will go into itself evenly. The next thing we do is, this is my way of completing the problems. I'm sure there's many other ways out there, but this is the way I've shown you in class, is to first divide the denominators. 2 goes into 16 8 times. We take that answer and multiply it with the numerator. 8 times 1 is 8. Same thing down here. 16 will go into 16 one time. 1 times 7 is 7. So these are my new fractions. I'm going to write them over here so you can see them clearly. All I did was convert these fractions to matching denominators. I have 8 over 16. Don't forget to bring the 2. And a 7 over 16. I'm still on number 1. And remember, our operation is adding. So now I'm going to add these two together. Okay? If I add these two together, 8 plus the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have a 15 over 16. And 2 plus, there's nothing there, is 2. So my final answer for here is 2 and 15 over 16. Remember, always make sure to see if your fraction can reduce. I know it just so happens that 15 and a 16 will not reduce any further than what is already there. So that answer is complete. I'm going to go and try next one. So over here to number 2. Remember, I like to rewrite them. I have a 14 over 3. And don't worry about it being top heavy now. Always just see and make sure that your final answer is not top heavy. It's not a improper fraction. If it is, you need to convert it to a mixed number. And I have a 5 over 9. I'm going to convert them to the same denominator. In this case, this worksheet seems to be pretty easy because it looks like so far the common denominator, the number that 3 will go into evenly and 9 will go into evenly, happens to be the larger of the denominators. That's what happened in our first case when we used 16. That's what's happening in our second case at using 9. So now we divide. Divide the denominators. 3 goes into 9 3 times. 14 times 3. I don't know what 14 times 3 is, Mrs. Hart. That's why you can use multiplication chart. 14 times 3, 1, 2, 3. See that? 42. So, 42. 9 will go into 9. 1 times 5 is 5. And this is an addition problem, so let's add the two denominators. 42 plus 5 is 47. Bottom number, 9. That's top heavy. You know we can't leave it like that, so we must convert it into a mixed number. I'll do that right here. 9 will go into 4, 0. Bring down my 7. 9 goes into 47. I don't know. Look in your 9 columns. Look for 47. 45 is going to be the closest amount, so we'll use 5. 9 times 5 is 45. Subtract. 2 left over. Now you have all your pieces to create the mixed number that you need. If this part sounds unfamiliar, please go back and review the video to converting long division with fraction remainders. Okay, if you go back and visit that Hart Academy and take a look at it, practicing this will make a lot more sense. So now what I have is 5 is my whole number, the remainder 2 is my numerator, 9 is my denominator. Final answer for this, 5 2/9. All right. And I think I will try one more. This one has 2 whole numbers. Each fraction has a whole number with it. Okay, but doesn't matter. Process is the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it so that you are not afraid of it. 4 3/4, 8 and 7, 18. Okay, remember you have to find a matching denominator. So let's see if this time if the denominator is going to be the larger of the two, 18. What's the smallest number that'll go into 4 into 18? Let's say that you're not sure. Remember, you can always use a multiplication chart. Looking under the 4th column, looking in this row, and then I'll make my marker a little bit smaller. Looking into 4s and looking into 8s. You keep going until you find a number in which they both match. The first number in which they both match is 16. See that? Oh, I'm not even in the 18s. Excuse me. Pretend I just didn't record that last minute. I'm looking for a 4 and an 18. So I'm looking in this row and this row, trying to find that matching number. And as you can see, 4. I have an 8. Nope. I got a 36. Nope. Okay. I got a 36 here. Oh, look at that. Now I pop up with a 36. So 36 is going to be the first lowest common multiple they have in common. So I'm going to use 36 for my number here. Now we divide. 4 will go into 36 how many times? Say you forgot. 4, 36, 9 times. 4 will go into 36 9 times. So take that 9, multiply with the numerator. 9 times 3, 27. Don't forget the whole number 4. Same thing. 18 will go into 36. 18 will go into 36 2 times. Take that 2, multiply it with the numerator. 7 times 2, 14. Don't forget to bring over the whole number. All we do left is add. So I have my 27, okay, and my 14. So I have 11. That would be, the numerator is 11, 2, 3, 41 over 36. Don't forget to add the whole numbers. That should be 12. And there we go. Let me rewrite that right here so you can see it. Right now we're at 12 and 41 over 36. What is the problem with this? This is the problem. It's top heavy. We must convert it. So 36 will go into 41. One time. We subtract. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. I have a 5. And remember from previous videos what to do with these. That's a whole number that you need to add to here, making this 13. The remainder is a numerator. Outside number is your denominator. So my correct answer for this is 13 and 5/36. Hope this helps. Please practice the rest on your own. Review the video for the few that I've done on here in order to make sure you have correct answers for the rest of the page. All right, see you at the next one.